Was God just for killing the firstborn in Egypt during the Passover? Let's check that out. So, when God killed all the firstborn in the 10th plague in Egypt, as a believer, that's kind of a hard thing to wrap your head around. But I believe the Bible makes a good case for why God did it, and it's justified. But as an atheist, that's a go-to story for them to explain how God is not loving. But as an atheist, you have no basis for a moral worldview to say what God did was just or not, because your worldview doesn't allow that, and you can't borrow from God's worldview to justify what you think is wrong. It just don't work like that, if we're being honest with ourselves. But one key point that I want to point out in the Bible that I think sometimes people overlook is in the beginning of Exodus, it talks about how Pharaoh oppressed the Israelites and turned them into his slaves. And then it talks about Pharaoh killing the baby boys, throwing them into the Nile and whatnot. Hence why Moses was hidden after he was born, to keep him from being killed, which is a foreshadow of Jesus. But when God goes to set his people free, he gives Pharaoh 9 opportunities, and Pharaoh denies every one, even a couple times saying that he would let him go and then changed his mind. So God gave him opportunities. But I think a point where people miss it, especially skeptics, is so Pharaoh was killing all the Israelites, enslaving them for hundreds of years. How many people you think died? And then killing the children. So when God goes through and kills the firstborn, which doesn't necessarily mean children, it just means firstborn. Firstborn could be adults for all we know. That seems like God is seeking out justice, which he's rightfully called to do. He's the giver of life. But it's weird, when he seeks out justice, it's wrong. But if we seek out justice, that's good. That don't make no sense. And the whole foreshadowing of the Passover with the blood of the spotless lamb on the doorpost, all foreshadows Jesus and what he came to do for mankind's rebellion toward God. So I ask you, was God just in doing what he did, seeking out justice for his children? Was God just giving Pharaoh numerous opportunities? What do you think?